Hello, welcome back. Hopefully you've found the videos that interest you most. You've found things that connect to you and your organization, and you've had a better understanding of what Essence is and how it can help you. You might have looked at the background, the history, and understood the provenance of Essence and the situation, the environment at the time that led to it being created. You might have looked at the perspective from different people's perspectives, so different personas, whether it's the organization, the executive, coaches or team members or authors. Maybe you looked at the videos around the interaction. How can Essence, with its active way of working, feel different from other kinds of practices and other methodologies, and why that way of working makes Essence much more effective? Or perhaps you're really interested in the language and the detail, the nuts and bolts of what Essence is and how it all fits together. But there are lots of different perspectives, and these videos will grow as we find new ways to describe it. One of the challenges with something quite as flexible and powerful as Essence is describing it in a concise and meaningful way. So this is a way that you can pick and mix the bits that work for you, much like you pick and mix the practices that work for you from an ecosystem of essentialized practices. So a bit of a meta description there. You might have also looked at the videos around Teamspace, around the tooling that helps us bring Essence to life, and why some of the serious games really make sense. Some of those videos will have shown you a team working its way through some games and seeing why it is that it's a really effective way for teams to improve, and why it gets better insights from teams than, for example, just having retrospectives that never focus on your way of working. But you might now be thinking, what next? What are the next steps? Well, there are quite a lot of next steps, so let's walk through some of them. To get started, well, we can help you. IGI can help you on your journey to understand Essence and to work out where it can best add value for your organization. In a range of ways: training, consulting, coaching, combination of things. Teamspace as a product is a great way to look at existing practices, bring them together into a team room, make sense of what you're doing, use the game boards to capture where you are and to identify improvements, and use it as your home for your team's way of working, and even add some customizations and author your own practices. Maybe you want to conduct a kernel health check. Use the kernel alphas, the common ground, and the checklists there to see where you are. See where your teams are strong, where there is perhaps some weakness. Are there any areas that you've forgotten about? Any of those checklists, things that you think, oh, maybe I should have done that, but I didn't. That kernel health check will work whatever practices you're using. They don't need to even to be practices that have an Essence version. Whatever you're doing to deliver value for your stakeholders, that kernel health check will help you. There's lots of different ways you can get involved in that. Sometimes just the cards are useful on their own or from within Teamspace. Speaking of cards, download the cards, go and play with them. Play some of the games. There's lots of advice on the website. See what the power of serious games can bring to you, and see the value of having practices split into their elements and what that allows you to do in terms of facilitating really powerful, rich, engaged sessions with your team. If you've got in-house practices, why not think about the Essence language? Can that help you? I pretty much guarantee, even if you've got existing practices, they're probably written down in Word documents or in wikis, using the Essence language and saying, in my practice, where are the work products? Where are the things that we progress? Where are the things that we do? What are the things that we produce? What's the guidance? And categorizing that with the Essence language, I almost guarantee you'll find gaps and you'll find inconsistencies in your practice. So even just doing that exercise will help improve your practices. And that's just the first step. Take the even further, you can then properly essentialize your practices, and then you get access to all the wealth of additional value that we've talked about in terms of serious games and tooling and things like that. But even just thinking through your existing practices is a really good exercise to get started. If you're starting from scratch, of course, then writing a new in-house practice using the Essence language is a much easier way to get started and get a much higher quality product than starting with a blank sheet of paper on a word processor. And perhaps you want to think about a minimal viable bureaucracy. What are the things that I need all my teams to do the same way? And what are the things I really don't? Can I identify some particular things I want to report against, maybe some states? And that's where my control ends. it's up to the teams how they progress those states. Or maybe I've got some particular practices I want to encourage or put some communities of interest around them. So the minimum viable bureaucracy or the common operating model is a really nice place to start as well. Or maybe you just want to start with a blank sheet of paper, map out where you are, and then, as we would do in Kanban, pick somewhere to start and make lots of small evolutionary changes. And if all that seems a bit overwhelming, give us a call. Let us help you find the right next steps so you can start seeing not just the power of Essence in its potential power in presentations like this, but actually seeing it work for real for you and for your team and your organization. Lots more information on our website, ivarjakobsen.com. There's an Essence in Practice section, lots of resources, articles, cards to download, advice on playing games, case studies, the whole load. So hopefully that's given you a good insight into Essence. Go back and really watch some of the videos that you found interesting. Give us a call if you want to find out more. And I hope you've been inspired by this to begin your journey with Essence. Thank you.